Hello and welcome to MotorCult episode 48. I am Erik Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello.
Hello there, and my lovely girlfriend Jana.
Hello.
All right, so moving right along into the beer segment. I did stock up the fridge a little bit, but again, I wasn't going out on too much of a limb. Ryan, what are you doing this week?
Because I've been drinking Minnesota Gold Lager in my house for the past 2 weeks, I got our grain belt.
Okay. And I, as Ryan sort of alluded to, Minnesota Lager.
Another great go-to drinking beer.
They're both pretty good. I also got Tecate, which I hadn't had in a hot minute.
Oh, God, it's like...
I actually kind of like it.
All right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll try it for the second episode.
Well, we're going off-site for episode 2.
Yes, we are going offset for episode 2.
Suppose you could grab one and try it.
I don't think Elko has a problem with drinking and driving. It's barely a town.
That's pretty much what that town was founded on. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's encouraged. It is
yeah,
Elko.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
true.
think that's their state motto. Elko, we like drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Well,
you
they-
can actually get a ticket for not drinking.
Yeah, it's true. They don't have their own police force. That's true. They use the state patrol.
Really? That's it?
And it's actually, the town is Elko New Market.
Yep.
Because they were about to be unincorporated because they were too small and they had to move. They had to merge with another town.
That is a strange place. I keep hearing about that drive-in movie theater they've got there.
They do have one?
They have a new one that opened like a couple of years ago, but they don't allow outside food or beverage, so it's just not as good as Valley High.
Why would you even go there then? Fuck
No,
that.
I haven't. I go to the one in Valley High
Valley High
because
is way better.
You can grill and do whatever the hell you want basically there.
And they probably play movies other than Birth of a Nation at Valley High.
Yeah.
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 I feel like there'd be some like Passion of the Christ playing in a loop at the Elko.
Yeah, Elko's kind of this like weird like portal into 1950s Alabama when you go to it.
That is, yeah.
It's not
It,
that
it feels just kind of weird.
You don't want to go there. Everything's kind of icky and gross, and whenever you're there, you're no further than 2 miles away from a trailer.
Yet we are still voluntarily going,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know,
And God forbid you drive an import in there.
that's true.
which I'll be doing.
We
Yeah.
don't lack your
Although-
kind around here, boy.
Even if I take the fajita, which I probably won't, I'll probably take Mr. Wags.
Oh yeah.
It would still not be welcome.
No, we're going to an amateur NASCAR event, so really anything other than a G body or like a 3rd gen Transmero bird.
Oh, don't forget the W body.
The W
beloved
body.
W. Yep.
The
Boy.
W body. Yeah,
Fly
they
the
love-
W.
They love
Fly
the
the
W
W.
body.
Yep.
Did you know they made a W body Buick? I think it was a Century Grand National or a Sabre Grand National.
No. Well, actually, I didn't know the Grand National. I knew they made a T-type.
So-
Like a bastardization.
Yeah, this one was non-turbo or anything.
Okay.
Did
But
it come in black?
Yes.
Was it a Series 1 3800?
Yeah, it was Series 1 3800. But the thing is, they made it to homologate it for NASCAR.
Okay.
And they basically just took all the body cladding on, smoothed out everything, put in like aerodynamic door handles and aerodynamic grille and headlights and stuff.
Mhm.
So it actually looks kind of cool for a W body, but I mean it's a W body.
What
Still-
year was that? Was it technically a GM10, which is the precursor to the W body?
It was
or-
88. It was the first year of the actual W body. It was the LeSabre actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the same. Or was it a Park Avenue? It was the same body style, the one I had for like 3
Oh
days.
yeah.
Oh, man. That was a great car. I still say that was one of your best purchases
That
ever.
was the most fun I've ever had in a
Yeah.
car. Was in that car.
For those of you that don't know, you bought a car for $300, and it was 3 days
They
of
know.
full throttle.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
true.
else.
And we took it off a jump.
Yep.
Yep, which
And
was-
never broke the speed limit.
No, never did. But I put a Skid Row cassette in the tape deck. I put on a trucker hat, and I never took them off.
Yep. For 3
Hopefully you
days.
saved the Skid Row tape when you.
Oh yeah, I love Skid Row.
Oh, yeah.
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 Skid
It's
Row's
still in use
awesome.
today.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
that's still
good,
my
good.
Cressida.
Yeah.
Skid Row's great.
I've been trying to. Okay, so most of my cars have tape decks. No surprise.
Yeah.
Even the newer stuff, which I'll classify as up to 2002. So I bought some blank new old stock cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna put some Spotify playlists on this thing. I have an old like JVC fairly high end tape deck
Yeah.
at my parents' house where I used to live. So I grabbed it last time I was over there and brought it to my house. And of course the unit no longer detects when the tape door is shut, so I couldn't use it. So now I have to go find and purchase a new tape deck to I was about to say burn these tapes, but no, just to write to these tapes. So I still have no good.
Is this like
modern music.
a home stereo type you're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
a component. Yeah.
I might be able to help you there.
Okay.
I may have a year or two of experience.
Yeah.
I thought I
she
had
used to do audio engineering and sound stuff like that.
Yeah, before I met Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a
No, I
past
mean,
life.
and now you're in anthropology, which is
Yeah.
quite a change.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So,
I thought I had a nicer, newer dual Pioneer deck, but I think I lost that one.
probably the worst decision in my life was back when Circuit City was closing like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw a USB to cassette converter.
Ooh.
If that wasn't a pile of shit, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was like an actual thing.
Was it
I
bus
feel like they
powered?
probably made like
No,
four
it, was,
of them.
it had a separate power thing, but
Okay.
it was used for writing MP3s to cassette.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking buy it because it was like one of those things where like, if I bought it, I'd be like, kind of like strapped for cash for the rest of the week. And it was like a Monday. I'm like,
They currently sell
fuck, I should have bought that.
a standalone cassette tape, which has a little LiPo battery in it and a Bluetooth receiver.
I don't
So you
care
can
about
Bluetooth stream music to the cassette deck,
No.
which is interesting.
that. All the
but
fun of a
I
cassette
don't
is like
like the
actually
battery
having a
thing.
cassette.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole fun
I know,
of it.
like it's like I don't need to charge a cassette. It's ready.
I've actually discovered like the most perfect genre of music for listening to in a old like late 80s Toyota, like my Cressida.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called the city pop. And what it is imagine like vaporwave and like Japanese lounge jazz put together.
So something kind of like in between Dave Brubeck and Mitch Murder.
Actually, Mitch Murder does a lot of stuff with modern city pop musicians. Yeah,
I own all of their albums. So.
yeah, I love Mitch Murder, but yeah, it's just like that.
Perfect.
I'm gonna just go ahead and do the over my head motion.
But what I've been trying to find is cassettes by either I think her name is Akita Sato. She's a really good musician.
I didn't realize she had cassettes out.
She was around when cassettes were a thing because her music career was like about 1985 to 2002. So yeah, I mean, I would assume that she would, but I cannot find them for the life of me.
Wow, it's like the lifespan of the R129 development to canning.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But if you ever watch a movie Shuto Kosoku, that Japanese street racing movie where they filmed all the scenes in live traffic?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. She's the girl from that movie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So she's actually really good. Or this other band called Wink, which is also awesome. They're kind of like a Japanese Bananarama, which is a great band with a better name.
All right, I'm going to have to look them up.
Oh, you've never heard of? It's like
I don't know that one.
You know,
yeah.
it's a cruel.
That is too much of a
cruel
tangent.
Summer. That song.
Oh, no, I know
Yeah,
that. I'm
that-
talking about the
Oh,
Japanese
Wink.
band.
Yeah. No,
I don't know Wink.
Wink's really good. They're
I
technically.
love how
city
he
pop.
assumes I don't know the pop song, the one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, of course you know the obscure band from Japan.
Well, obviously. I mean,
I mean, you guys basically live together, so I would expect that
Yeah,
you would have the
exactly.
same
We've been
taste in
dating for
music
5
by
years,
now.
so-
Yeah.
Actually, as long as we're on the subject of cassettes, I still. I remember one time we were at Cheapo, and I'm still kicking myself in the ass for not buying it. I remember
Tulu Jews.
Tulu Jews. I
It's
love how
on-
you know.
It's on Spotify.
No,
Yes,
dear God, send me a link.
I will.
I'm too old to find it by myself.
Yeah, Tulu Jews. It's great. It's a Two Live Crew cover band.
How are you too old, Jenny? You're like 23.
I mean, like
She's 23 going on 50.
school
Okay,
really,
that's
it
true.
just
Yeah,
it takes it out of
saps
you.
the life out
Yeah.
of you. Anyway,
I mean, it is anthropology.
Let's move on to
Yeah,
the
we're-
first
we're-
actual
yeah,
we're gonna
topic.
move
actual
on.
topics. It's just like last time.
Speaking of Toyota, so Toyota apparently they said that they're interested in bringing back other sports cars because
I've owned some Toyota sports cars.
Oh yeah, me too. Like every sports car I've ever owned is a Toyota.
Yeah.
I guess the CRX isn't technically a sports car. So yeah, every actual sports car I've ever owned is a Toyota.
Yeah, because that was an economy. Wasn't yours an HF?
No, mine was the DX, but still, I mean, it's still a hot hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toyota wants to bring back the Supra, and it's going very well. And they explained their reasoning for partnering with BMW, saying that they just can't make a sports car on their own today.
And the Supra was a straight six always.
Yep.
Really.
Exactly.
And
So-
BMW still
And they
does
did
straight
confirm
sixes.
they're going to stick to the good old-fashioned FR layout like it should be instead of mid-engine.
And I
So-
still think, even though they said they're not bringing us a manual, we'll see it
Yeah,
a
we're gonna
year
see a
after they
manual.
bring
it'll
it
be
here.
it'll be a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
demand will be high enough.
It'll be like a BMW.
And if they don't, the transmission exists because it's a BMW powertrain, and they still make a manual transmission for
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So.
So it's entirely plausible. However, they said they want to bring back they've got two other fantastic sports cars: the Celica or the MR2 that they're considering next.
I've had a couple MR2s. No Celicas, but
The Celica, since the FT86 platform, that one really kind of covers what an old school Celica was. So they would bring back the Celica as the GT4 layout, where it's all-wheel drive
The
turbo.
All-trac?
Yeah, like the All-trac the All-trac style. And the MR2, I can only imagine they're bringing back because the DC Avanti is doing so well in India.
and because we plugged it so much last
so
week.
much, yeah.
I think Toyota's listening and they're taking notes.
They're
so.
taking notes and they're saying, you know what, the DC Avanti is fantastic. Jenny, I don't think you were here for the DC Avanti, but
Nope, I don't remember that one.
it's basically a Indian supercar that is basically all the same specs as what like a Civic Type R is.
Somebody
Okay.
built a Renault Megane RS backward and then put a slightly. It's a what was
I
the-
like it already.
A 90s Korean leather interior in it.
Oh, what was the
and they made-
supercar that the Zenvo?
Wait,
Let's
is
say
this
Zenvo.
North Korean or South Korean leather?
South Korean.
Okay.
It looks like a late 90s Hyundai Tiburon on the inside, and then
That's
on
not
the
that good though.
on the outside it looks like a Zenvo or a Lykan Motorsports W Motorsports Lykan. Like,
Yeah, and it kind of has Murcielago-esque taillights. It's kind of a weird amalgamation.
it
but-
looks
and
weird.
It has the ground clearance of my FJ Cruiser.
Yeah, it's got like
because they don't have good roads. in India.
they've got giant potholes, so it's got like all the
A
ground clearance.
supercar with 14 inches of ground
It's
clearance.
actually kind of
Perfect.
cool.
It's 9
I bet
inches.
it's got a really compliant
actually
ride.
9
It
inches.
actually has 9 inches
Yeah.
of ground clearance.
I don't have any of the links still up. I guess I could pull them out of the previous show notes. To
But
show
they,
you.
I feel like that could introduce enough body roll to make it a lot of fun to drive.
It
Oh, it
does.
would- it
It
would
does
be,
actually, because once they got it off of the Indian city streets, they took it up in the mountains, and apparently it was just a ton of fun. Because
Oh no, I'm just talking about like trophy trucking it up and through town. Just like, oh, is that a curb? Thump thump. We're good.
that's what it was made
How
for.
about
for doing
leans
that.
around corners like trophy trucks? I love that.
They said it has. They said that it's got like atrocious
three-wheeling.
body roll.
Great.
So
Just take the sway bars out of it.
yeah, I mean that works for
Probably doesn't even
MR2s.
have sway bars, India.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, MR2s, the AW11s, you'd pull the sway bars out because the sway bars would actually cause you to have snap oversteer. But you take them out and then it handles perfectly.
So is Toyota
weird.
planning to make a bespoke platform for these, or are they going to base them on something else?
So that's the thing is they don't think that they can base it off something else, and
Right,
they're
yeah,
saying
I
you know. They said, quote, a sports car requires a lot of specific components that you cannot share with other cars. Suspension components we're using on the Supra, you cannot use on a sedan like a Camry or Corolla, which to me smells like sky-high bullshit.
Well, I
because-
think it's because of the engine transmission layout.
Yeah, but not necessarily. I mean, you can run those sorts of suspension components. You just have to...
I suppose. I mean, look at the Acura Legend.
Yeah, the Acura Legend or the, no, I mean, like the original MR2s, you could use
Yeah.
a lot of A86 components. The CRX was literally just a Civic. And probably, I think the Fiero is,
Garbage.
yeah,
oh, that
garbage.
had it had like citation front
Yeah,
end.
like,
and
it had like a homologation of shit.
I don't even remember what the back end was made out of. It changed in like '88 or whatever with the
Yeah.
GT.
But the thing is, though, is that you can parts bin engineer your way to success.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Like Toyota's entirely capable of this. They have so many weird things. Like, no, you're not going to use a beam axle from a Corolla. However, the independent rear suspension from the new Corolla hatchback,
Yes.
I bet if you
Yep.
made a hub that's got accommodations for an axle, would look great in the back of a MR2.
And I'm all for taking stuff out of parts bins from our things. Like, look at the old Mercedes stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, not even just Mercedes.
oh
everyone.
yeah.
No, but I mean, like that's the thing. Parts engineering's where it's at.
Yeah.
And they've already homologated and federalized a 2-liter turbocharged engine in the NX200T.
Yeah,
We've already got the gearbox from the Corolla hatch. What's the problem here?
Yeah, slap it all together, crank up some boost a little bit,
Yeah.
and call it a life.
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
thing is, like, this would be a car for car enthusiasts. Car enthusiasts, A, they like to tinker, and B, like things that are creatively built.
Oh, you like to avoid warranties? We do.
Yeah,
yes,
we do.
yes.
But we really like things that are just kind of creative. Like, if you have a bunch of one-off parts, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But car enthusiasts, you know, that when they see something like, oh, yeah, this uses this 86 Subaru GL10 uses the same engine mounts as a 2017 STI, that gets people all excited. It's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Just like,
I
yeah,
bet that
readily
costs a
available
nickel to buy
parts.
because every car ever uses it.
Exactly.
Yep.
company can pay for its tooling pretty well.
But yeah, no, I'm a fan of it. I just say partsman engineer the hell out of it. Damn it,
Yeah. I mean, you just make a specific chassis for the thing and then grab what else you can.
Yeah, it's not like you have
grab
a
some brakes off an FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that'd be great.
Cheap 4-piston, yeah,
Yep.
buddy.
But I mean, like, that's the thing is, you are making the chassis. You can design however you feel like to make these things work. Like, we're still in an era, like, what they'd be competing with is a Miata, really.
Yeah.
And you'd be making a mid-engine Miata. All you have to do is be better than a Miata. Like, you're not trying to take on the world. You're just trying to take on the Miata. Also, Toyota said, they asked about how Mazda does it, and Toyota has issues with it. Toyota says, well, Mazda never stopped. Yeah, no shit. Like, they never
What does
stopped.
that tell you?
And now they're the best car company ever. Like, not ever right now, but I mean, right now,
I was gonna say.
as far as Japanese,
That's
That
a
is
pretty
a-
bold
that's
claim.
a
as
very
far
bold
as
statement.
Japanese brands go, I'm gonna say Mazda is consistently the best right now.
Okay, I guess that's
Speaking of Mazda,
probably fair.
Yes.
Ford.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
No, nothing's wrong with Ford. I had
Everything's
a
wrong with
recent
them.
run-in with Ford. Went to a bachelor party.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I thought those were supposed to be attended by men only.
yes.
Jana went in drag. Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That took a
it was the Transit, wasn't it?
yes. So
Yes.
it was a Ford Transit XLT, 15-passenger van,
Okay.
tall.
Okay.
So I recently grew to 6'4", and I can almost stand up in the thing.
Wow.
Yes, I tower over Ryan. It's kind of awkward.
It's really weird.
Did somebody like break your bones and surgically extend them like
Yes.
Gattaca?
No, at
It's just
school,
like
a
that.
radioactive spill.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is it? Will it get better?
I'm sure next time I'm on, I'll be back to normal.
Sounds
Yes.
good. I think
That's the problem with the voice too.
it's fucking with your voice a
Yeah,
little bit.
that's the
Yeah,
voice.
I look somewhere like kind of like Andre the Giant, and
Yeah, we're keeping
know.
the camera off you because
Yeah.
it's pretty hideous.
yeah, you'd lose viewers. But either way,
All of our many viewer.
Oliver Scott.
all of our Scott.
No, I think Hari's the one that watches.
Oh,
it.
Hari.
Yep.
All
Scott
right.
listens
So-
to the iTunes version.
But either way, went to Milwaukee with a rented transit van.
Okay.
But this is where the story gets good.
So we're on our way out there. Stop at I'm trying to remember. It was a Flying J because if you're traveling somewhere, you got to go to the premium truck stops.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
You
I
can't-
want clean showers.
You can't just
Food.
go to
Flying J
you can't
and
just
Loves.
go to Loves. Yeah.
No, I'm all about the Loves.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the IHOP of truck stops. It's just seedy enough to be entertaining.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, like Flying J is actually nice.
But anyway, so we're sitting, everyone's getting back into the van, and we see someone in a clapped out Cavalier, and of course, someone decides to yell at them like, "Hey, you trying to run a van from a dig?" And lo and behold, the kid goes, "Yeah, absolutely." Oh, okay. He goes, "I know just the spot. There's never any cops there."
So you,
Famous last words, right?
you go down to his barn.
Oh no, not even. We took a left out of the gas station, and we were there. Yes,
Okay.
right there. Not 5 minutes before, there were like two officers just driving around the parking lot for funsies, I'm guessing.
That's hilarious.
So either way, I hop out of the van, line them up, drop my hands, and suddenly the van takes off like a goddamn rocket ship.
Is it a 2.7 twin turbo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a 3-liter.
It's a show engine.
It's the show
isn't
engine.
it?
3.5?
Yeah, whatever.
It
is
could be.
in the
I'm not
show.
entirely sure.
I
All
didn't know
I
they
know
put
is
the bigger one in there. Okay.
we looked it up. It makes 320 horsepower,
That's the 2.7.
400 foot-pounds of torque.
2.7.
That's a silly amount of power.
Yeah.
And sure, this isn't a beat-up, nasty Cavalier. We dust the thing. Okay, go figure. And this is with 6 people in the van.
Mm-hmm.
So we think nothing of it, really. And then later in the week, Saturday night, we're out cruising around Milwaukee trying to find the local racing scene. Because, that's what you do.
Actually, Milwaukee has a really good car scene.
Debatable. I've seen it.
Well, I've seen. I guess I've seen highlights.
They did do some I Am Thai Boogie stuff where they shut down the highway, but like.
All right. So, well, I guess what I've seen are just internet things.
Yeah.
So like,
They make it look really impressive.
The internet can make Wilmer look fantastic.
Yeah.
So
we line up with a turbocharged RX-8.
What?
Yes.
I've actually
awesome.
never seen that happen before.
I mean, that would be.
Well, I don't know why
it
you'd ever
would make
bother
sense,
turbocharging
but-
a Renesis motor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well,
they designed a rotary for economy. What were they thinking?
Was it actually a Renesis or was it a
13B.
just a normal 13B
No,
REW?
it was a Renesis. Yep.
Okay. Anyway,
So
That's so weird.
yeah. So there's a video on this thing, and you can find it on Wisconsin Car Enthusiasts. I think it's been shared. Last time I checked, shared 13 times and 20,000 views.
good lord.
Yeah, this guy was not happy after that. We line up with the guy. Light turns green. There's 7 of us. There's 1,100 pounds of people.
Traction
in this van.
adder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a gross weight of 9,800 pounds.
Did you put everybody in the rear?
No, we're just all flopping around.
I'd say put everybody in the rear so you can see if you can do a wheelie.
It
in it.
won't do a wheelie.
it won't do a
Ryan.
wheelie. But
Wheelbase is
yeah,
way too long.
if Vin Diesel was driving, yes. But
It would have done a wheelie for like a mile.
Sorry, I had to make
It would have
So-
accelerated while maintaining the same RPM.
So basically what happens is we pull away from him about 6 feet, and then he hangs for a second or two, and then the van gets its legs and pulls and pulls.
How many
like
bus lengths?
A full Sioux line. We're talking like transit, like major league.
So basically, it wasn't just like a 1 or 2 bus. It was a sell
No, it
sell
was-
your car kind of gap.
Yes, it was. And I think he was actually planning on doing it afterwards.
Yeah, I would too. Shit.
And
He should have been already.
Well, yeah,
That
I
was
would
the-
have sold it already. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good car.
yeah, and for those of you wondering, it's a white RX-8 with red trim. It's pretty
Ow!
bad looking.
God,
yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah, it's kind of like a maroonish trim.
You.
But so we're like, okay, this thing should not be doing this. Let's do it again. We went 7 for 7 races that night. Against
with a stock Ford Transit with people in it.
yes,
So next time you're gonna make this a thing, right?
yes. Well,
Alright.
and the
I'd
reason
say
I bring
we
this
take
up,
one up to Power Cruise next year then.
We can put a Cobb Access Port into it because you just plug it in and make even more power.
well, and the thing is already flex fuel capable.
Yep.
E85 Cobb Access Port, and
Yeah,
then
if
That
just
you
thing's gotta
flash
have
it,
some
it should-
juicy injectors in it.
Oh yeah.
we just put a nitrous fogger system.
Well, and if I remember correctly,
ruin
if you
it.
flash that engine combo, you can make about 400 before you have to start.
Can
swapping
you?
turbos and stuff.
How much of a,
twin KO3s? It should be able to do
how
that.
much
yeah.
of a pain in the ass a nitromethane setup be to
Oh,
put
Oh,
in?
really easy.
Oh, so we can just get one, and then in the parking lot
Oh
of
wait,
the Hertz,
not
put
nitro.
it,
You mean
or not
water
nitro,
methane?
yeah, water
Nitromethane
Nitromethane
is a
would not work.
completely
I was gonna
different
say, I'm
animal.
like,
I'm sorry, water methane.
Water
I
meth.
I completely
Water meth.
misspoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a water meth system in it.
Yeah, nothing like a little bit of self-oxidizing fuel in a
Chemical
rented vehicle.
intercooling, yes.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be
But-
fantastic.
So that thing was fast as hell and a blast to drive. You could huck it in corners like a Focus.
they're-
It drives like a Focus.
I love transit vans. They're great.
So after we get back from this trip, someone posted a link to a group chat we have going on. Ford is planning on releasing a Go Fast version,
Yeah, another super van.
a super van.
Yeah, they've done that with every
I
generation.
mean, why not? You just unbolt the 2.7, bolt in the 3.5, and flash it a little bit.
Yeah.
You're good.
That's basically what they do.
But
Well,
how many companies actually do that?
Ford.
Yeah,
They've
but
done-
Ford also got rid of the RS and ST lines.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is a van.
I understand.
This is a van. Vans are,
Vans are
Great.
inherently better.
Vans are very good, but they're not better than
I won't say they're
hatchbacks.
better. Well,
No,
I'm going to go ahead and say the
thing.
sedan is a superior platform.
There is a there is a hierarchy of
I
cars.
want to get a Fusion Sport, tune it, and then make it look like a Fusion SE, and then go hurt feelings with it.
That'd be
Yep.
hilarious.
Yep. And the
But-
Fusion,
'Cause
you'd be
those
so
are
comfortable
really fast.
too.
So the thing is, there's a hierarchy with when it comes to utilitarian vehicles. So there's the hatchback, and the one thing that's better than a hatchback is a wagon, and the one thing that's better than a wagon is a van. The van is peak of utilitarian fun. If you can find a van that's fun,
Yeah.
like that is the peak of all
Yes.
life.
Yeah, I
Like-
can't deny that. If you can throw a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the back of whatever vehicle you're driving and win a race, that's a
This is
pretty
why the
good day.
R63 AMG is better than insert other 63 AMG car.
They're all autos anyway, so yeah, the
Yeah,
R just wins.
The R just it's
oh, the
better.
head bolt problem. How about you just change out the head bolts then?
Yeah, done. Who
Done
cares?
and done, yeah.
Yeah, it's still it's a 500 horsepower all-wheel drive van. Why would you not want that?
Yep.
I do still really want one of those.
Yeah, I do too. I know they have some inherent little issues
Yeah,
here
it's
and there,
fine,
but
whatever.
yeah, exactly. You
I
just
actually
accept
wouldn't
the
even
fact.
mind a regular R class, like an R320 CDI or whatever. That would be bomb as fuck.
I saw one
I
the other
don't
day.
know. I don't know if I'd play with the new CDIs though.
No, I'm not talking Blue Tech. I'm talking CDI.
Yeah, they made CDI. Not it wasn't. It was,
For
it was,
What
one
year would
year.
that be?
06 only.
Yeah, it was 06 only. It was the
And they went
first
Blue
year.
Tech a year
Oh,
after
yep,
that.
yep. Okay, yeah.
So no urea
Because
or anything.
that's the same year as like the E320 CDIs, the 0506s.
Yep,
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
those that
And
was
the,
that was the
ML
last.
and the GL. They all made all three of those for
Yeah.
1 year.
In
Yeah.
my opinion, that was the last good diesels to come out of Mercedes.
I mean, the new ones are still great, but I mean, they're crippled like all other diesels are with the urea shit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So we also, when I was at this wedding, at Andrew Chase's wedding, I also did a fantastic burnout with my van.
Nice.
Yep, I was in the vehicle for that.
Yep. There was a Corvette that did a burnout, and I decided that I needed to keep up with the fun. So
Assert your dominance.
yeah,
Yep.
so wearing my trucker hat, listening to Phil Collins, and smoking a cigar, I did a big smoky burnout. It was fun. So
Yep.
there's that. So anyway, tangent.
Yeah,
Ow.
fell for you all over again.
But yeah, speaking of vans,
Mhm.
you know, they've come a long way in safety technology, so you can now do burnouts in street racing at them in relative safety.
Yep.
But
Well, and that thing was so spacious. Even if we did hit a wall, we'd have at least a mile to lose velocity before
You'd
we
have
hit
plenty of
anything.
space to lose
it's
velocity.
basically like a freight train slowing down.
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
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 You just got to collapse those bus lengths. But anyway, yeah, no, vans are great. I'm not trying to contest that point at all. I mean, I do prefer the smaller platforms.
Agreed.
Just inherently, they're lighter.
Yeah.
But like dusting people in a transit sounds pretty freaking rad.
There's
Oh, yeah.
there's
well,
a
and
happy
we
medium.
averaged 14.8 miles to the gallon over an 1,100 mile trip, and we did 90 plus there and 90 plus back.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
Yes.
In Mexico,
Yeah, when they went down to Milwaukee, Mexico.
Milwaukee, Mexico. It's a
It's a-
very
It's
small
a very
town.
it's a short drive.
Doesn't even
it's-
have a zip code.
It's a small town in the Chihuahua state.
Yes.
But anyway, I want to talk about shitty old vans for a second. I was perusing
argument.
through articles this last week, and normally I wouldn't bring up something so old on a topical podcast, which I am labeling this as, even though it's not necessarily true. But the least safe vehicle ever crash tested by NHTSA was a IIHS was a 1997
Oh my God!
Transport. Which,
Wow.
if you watch the video version right now, so it's a left side small, but not super small front overlap test like we have these days.
It's like a 1/3 overlap.
Yeah, so it's the small front overlap. So you hit the front frame rail on the left front side. What it does is it completely buckles the driver's side door, so it bows out like 2 feet. The B
my
pillar
God.
moves forward a foot. The entire roof line between the A and B pillar just crumples.
No, it really does.
I mean, this
Holy
person.
smoke. And this is
person,
at 40 miles an hour.
oh God, get rid of that, man.
I'm replaying it here.
That was only at
That's
40.
40 miles an hour.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so this thing is extremely unsafe.
No,
And
look how much the dashboard comes like into where you are.
yeah, there's a lot of intrusion.
Yeah, it
This is
literally
really
folds
bad.
you in half.
And let it be known that 1997 was the first year for the really stringent side impact standards or whatever. So I
Yeah.
mean, these things, all cars got really safe by 97. Like if you got something made 97 or newer, chances are it's really hard to die in it.
Yeah.
Like you really have to fuck up to die. But I mean,
Not that
I
one.
couldn't not click on that because it,
You know that. Continue.
I just yeah. I mean, just look at
That just doesn't get old.
No, I enjoy seeing that the most dreadful 3.4 liter GM minivan just getting destroyed. So
It
Like
really
seriously,
is.
that crumples like half the vehicle at 40 miles. Imagine what you're doing at highway speeds.
Yeah.
like,
another 15 on top
The
of
front
that.
bumper will be in the rear hatch.
Yeah, basically.
I like how the
it's-
cladding pops off the side too. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's I think that's my favorite part. It completely retains its shape.
Now I wonder what a side impact looked like on that.
Have you ever seen a semi truck get split in half by a train?
bisected.
Yeah,
I mean-
bisected by a train.
Like hit sideways.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah. It's like that, but like
In the front part.
replace the freight train with a bicycle.
But anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy that really terrible vehicle getting just
You know,
totally.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that has something to do with why General Motors was in their kind of state they were in 10 years later
Mm-hmm.
in 2007.
Weird. They made garbage product.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like you're gonna die in this piece
I'm so
of shit.
surprised there were ramifications for that.
You're gonna die in this piece of shit that's like immediately in special interest, or not special interest,
Special financing.
Yeah, special financing, and it has issues with the key getting stuck in the ignition.
Yep.
And everything is made of like unfinished ABS plastic.
Yep.
Shockingly,
maybe
nobody will want that.
Maybe the trick is they made it so poorly that when they did crash, you'd instantly die. That way you couldn't tell about your poor experience.
You couldn't complain if
That's
you did.
just like when you are shooting somebody in self-defense, you should kill them.
Yep.
Dead men
Because,
tell no tales, and this goes for customers too.
And honestly,
Yep.
it's really stupid. But like we're in such a litigation-heavy society, like
Oh, yeah.
legitimately, you are better off.
Yeah, just going for the kill.
Well, it's the same thing
if
with the
you need to
police.
defend yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually less paperwork to kill a guy.
That's been a thing. Yeah.
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 Anyway, that is okay.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
Different subject.
Wow, let's
Yeah.
talk about.
Lighten this up.
It's easy to die via gun, very tough to die in a car. So there you go.
There you go.
Speaking of the transport
Yes.
and Toyotas,
Uh-huh.
I have a Toyota.
You
that
do,
has
the
an
Cressida.
That has an automatic transmission like a transport.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Is this thing not running and driving yet?
No,
Okay.
it won't be for a while now.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
geez.
Have you
Toyota.
considered taking it out back and shooting it?
The A340A. I'm pretty sure I'm done with this. I'm gonna dunk it in the bottom of Lake Minnetonka. Maybe off a
I
helicopter.
have 3 722 350s I would like to partake in as well.
It'll be
from
real fun.
Blubsky.
We'll just drop them all out of a helicopter. Maybe find
A helicopter.
helicopter. It's a helicopter. It's gonna be a helicopter, but for a Holocaust of transmissions.
Just sitting in there, just Bird Mountain. Woof, splat.
A helicopter. Anyway, it'll be a helicopter that we're dropping these transmissions out of.
Google the helicopter.
And maybe we'll like drop him onto some asshole from Excelsior's like stupid boat that he has. I don't like Excelsior. We explained this in a previous podcast. But no, anyway, so these things are just too damn fucking complicated. This A340E in my Cressida. So I've been trying to figure out why it only goes reversed in first gear. It doesn't ever shift. So apparently, when I was taking it out, I broke the speedometer cable, which I'm an idiot.
I can't believe that thing is that new and it has a speedo cable.
Oh yeah, dude. They were using them in Forerunners for a while.
Well, I know,
But
but
anyway.
like, I feel like by 1990 those pretty much stopped.
Yeah, you would think. So yeah. Anyway, I was pulling it out, broke the speedo cable, and apparently
Never pull out.
the transmission references the speedo cable.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. Yeah. It also references the throttle body. It has a little lever. It comes off the throttle body.
So it's an electronically controlled automatic, and it references a mechanical speedo takeoff.
And a mechanical throttle body linkage. It doesn't use the TP.
Okay,
the
so it's got a cable for
It,
the.
it, no, it does. It doesn't use a TPS sensor. It uses a lever attached to a cable that goes down to the fucking tranny.
Yeah, it sounds like Mercedes
Yep.
And then
and early BMWs.
I was doing some reading,
Luckily,
and
they got away from that
All
soon.
GMs.
apparently it references back to a barometer at Toyota Place in Antarctica. And it depending on what that says, it'll shift differently. If it can't reference that,
So it
won't work.
references like, it must reference like Mayan calendars too. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
does Mayan calendars, and there's a Ouija board in the trunk that it uses
Oh, okay.
for it to
Okay.
shift.
Do you have
So-
okay? But
Well, are you
do
asking it
control
the right
Ouija-
question?
No, apparently I'm not. I'm very unhappy about it. So
What
anyway,
about moon phase? Does that affect it?
yes, it does. It moon phase. It also has a little light sensor on the roof that references moon phase at night.
It's also a sundial if you use
yeah,
your
it,
clock.
it is also a sundial
Very
in the
versatile
daytime.
system.
The Cressida is very versatile.
So anyway, I was one of the things I had to do was adjust the shift linkage because
Right.
if it
You're talking the thing that like
the little thing
coordinates
you-
the park
yeah,
position.
yeah,
and
the
park
the
position,
little
right?
prindle thing, yeah. That's the best description of it.
Yeah, I
So-
guess, yeah.
One of the things it has to do is, regardless of what gear it's physically been placed in, the prindle also has to match up with that.
Right.
And if there's like enough deviation, it'll slip it into neutral, or it'll keep it from shifting. So anyway, there's a little bit of deviation. It's like on the edge of me being comfortable with it being the right amount of deviation. Like when I put it into D, the little red line that goes onto that lines up with the D sign
Yeah.
is like 80% there. There's like a 20% white line there.
And this is the transmission that came with the car, right?
Yes, this is it. So, well, actually, no. This is the transmission that came with the engine. I
Oh,
put in.
okay.
So I still have the one that came with the
But
car
it's
that
the
worked.
same engine, same transmission as the car
Same-
would come with.
right,
Yeah,
same
Same
model.
I didn't
Yeah.
change anything. I just got a different one because it was cheaper.
Already
than,
bolted to the engine.
Yeah,
so.
it was cheaper than doing a head gasket.
I
Wait,
hate
so do you have the old
automatics.
trans still?
Yeah, I still do. So I'm gonna probably end up putting
Put that one in? Yeah.
But what I did, I'm gonna have to now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
about to
still a
get to
pain.
that.
That's still way more work than you
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Well, what I did is I was trying to adjust this little lever thing.
On the side of the valve body.
Yeah, on the side of the valve body, and I feel like any other brand on Earth would just
Yeah.
put a bolt in there or something, right?
A lot of them, it's like a threaded
it's-
shaft
it's
that's got a
threaded-
flatted area,
Yeah, this one doesn't have a flatted area at all. This one's just
Really?
a threaded shaft with a bolt on the end of it.
and it just friction fits between two bolts or something, or two nuts. I mean.
Yeah, there's two washers. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, that
Um,
seems like a really poor design.
I mean, that's like 1950s right there.
yeah,
Well,
I
I
feel
mean,
like keying stuff is really important.
I should put this into context by saying that the A340 in one way or another has
That's the
existed-
transmission?
Yeah.
Okay. Not the Airbus.
No. That transmission has existed since I think the late 70s. So it's been around for a while.
Is it a 3-speed?
It's 4-speed.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
think what we can take from this is taking out the parts bin can be a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is something definitely to be said with retaining original componentry in a swap, but like I also would do what you did, which is take the identical thing from the already bolted configuration
And that's what I
and
did.
pop it in.
I think the larger issue is this is something that doesn't happen anymore, but this is from an era where you're taking mechanical things and making them computerized because computers sell things.
It's the awkward growing phase, yeah.
Which is also what I love about 80s cars. I love this, but when it bites back, it fucking
and what I
bites
hate
back.
about
Yep.
90s cars where they were switching over from copper to fiber.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm not done here.
Okay, good. You keep going. I got
Yeah.
to pee, so.
This bolt that I took off, fucking broke.
Not just broke, but fucking broke.
Yeah, no, it snapped, and I'm like, that's not good. You know, when you get that, cool, I'm finally getting it. I'm getting it. That's really loose. That feeling, that's exactly what I had, and it was like the worst because all I wanted to do was just get my fucking car going so I can, do a burnout and maybe drive it up north to go see the fall colors.
I think the moral of the story is you need to spend $8,000 on a V160 and get it over with.
Yeah, I think so, but
Yeah. Or $200 in an R156.
yeah. So anyway, I was trying to figure out what I can do. Everybody's like, "Oh, you can just like tackle weld it together." I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say I have to get the car jacked way the fuck up, drop the transmission out because I refuse to take the engine out. Because taking the engine out, like just aligning the engine mounts is a huge pain in the ass. It's not like a Honda where you can use like one arm. You need like one dude just to align the engine mounts.
And see, that's why I loved working on Hondas, is because you only need one guy for any project.
Yeah, honestly,
light enough where you can just deal with it yourself.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you how many transmissions I've pulled out of Civics on my own.
transmissions or like engine swaps.
I'm
like,
excited to start parting out the mechanicals and the Element because I feel like even though that's kind of beefy all-wheel drive shit, it's still going to be really
It's
easy.
gonna be
By
really
the way, I
light.
saw a post. What are you doing with a
Don't you
Honda?
worry about it.
Oh, no, I'm worrying. Well, not worrying. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Okay, yeah, I'm keeping the engine, but the transmission and driveline from the Element's going away.
Oh, yeah, no, that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Actually,
else
the
will buy
Element
that.
is one of the worst side crash test rating vehicles
Really?
ever put into the U.S.
Oh, this
Look-
one was a side airbag car.
Let me just finish this real
Yes,
quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, so I put this transmission in. Hopefully, when I put in my new old transmission,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to do it from the bottom. It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. I refuse to take the engine mounts out because it's just like a pain to get like lined up.
That should be fine.
Nah, but still, it sucks.
That's how I do most of my tranny swaps.
And plus, it's almost winter now, so I really just don't have the vertical space to pull the engine out. So I'm gonna have to do just the tranny.
You're
And
also going to need big-ass jack stands because transmissions are kind of tall.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to be going to Harbor
I
Freight.
do have
speaking
a
of Harbor
floor
Freight.
transmission jack somewhere.
Oh, that'd be huge. Like, that'd be a big help.
I
if you gave me
totally
that.
do. I
Yeah.
don't know where it is right now, though.
Yeah,
But,
because I mean, once I get my transmission separated, it should just be a weekend's worth of work. I've done it before, so I'd made all the mistakes the first time.
Yeah, so you know what you have to do this time. Right?
Yeah, like I know to separate the drive shaft. That's a big pain in the ass that I missed. The only problem is to be physically getting the bell housing off of the engine, which is going to
Well,
kind
and
of suck.
unbolting the torque converter from the flex plate, but there should be a window for that, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah,
as long as you can
that'll be
rotate the
pretty
crank, okay.
That should be fine. I think I have to go underneath the engine for that.
Okay.
But anyway, after I'm done with this, there will be a W58 going into that real soon. We're trying to buy a house, so I'm like, not trying to drop, $1,000 on W58 swap right now.
Yeah, I am right there with you with trying to not spend shit tons of money on my cars right now, too.
Yeah.
Winter is always like, it catches me off guard. It's like, oh, right, I have to pay insurance twice a year.
Yeah.
And one of the times is in the winter.
Oh, yeah, mine's not insurance, which for you just has to be brutal.
Yeah, it's not great. Plus, like, I have to pay for, like, the last third of my solar installation, and, like, if I get the concrete done, like, that's going to cost a bunch of money. So
I don't,
leave it.
I just do insurance once a year.
I do for the collector stuff, but I can't do that for my daily driver
You
shift.
can't? Oh,
No.
I can do that for my van.
I don't know if I could afford to do that either, because
I drive a van,
my
so
6-month premium is, like...
mine's nothing.
Mine shouldn't be, because I drive an electric Fiat with full coverage, and I leave,
spent
like, storage coverage on the FJ and the wagon.
I spend like $600 a year for full coverage on my van.
Mine's like $2,400 a year for those two vehicles.
It's a lot of money.
That's more than I spend on all of the collector vehicles with no deductibles.
Remember back about 20 minutes ago when I said Mazda is probably the best Japanese car brand right now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is why. I have all the fun that you do in a car that costs a quarter of what your insurance is. But
I don't
anyway,
know
about
why it's
all
so
the
expensive.
fun?
Nah, the E is pretty freaking good.
the E is
I've never even seen it move.
The what?
the
E.
M3.
Oh, the E is fun.
Oh, the 500E.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You should let her take the E out for a drive before we go down to Elko.
We could maybe do that.
Yeah, just
It has an enormous garbage bag in the back. I have to take over to the dumpsters here, but after that,
well,
and it's also full of beer.
you can go to the enormous. You can go to the dumpster with great diligence.
Great diligence.
Urgency.
Urgency. Yes. Anyway, what were we talking about before?
The transmission.
Transmission,
transmission-
Toyota, all of your world's problems.
Yeah. Anyway, but then you guys start talking about something else, and
Well, I mean, we get sidetracked once in a while.
I mean,
But
that's basically
I know,
the
but that
basis
was
of the show.
that was a
is
good
sidetracking.
conversation, though, and I just wanted to finish what.
hopefully the moon sensors and the Ouija board are separate from the
Son of a
transition.
Bitch, what were we talking about after this, though?
The R whatever manual transmission swap in the house and
No, you.
bills.
Not
I,
wanting to drop a bunch of money
I
right
moved.
before.
I moved us back on track from something.
Well, how about
were
we just
talking
start a
about
new
automatic
topic?
transmissions.
Yep. Let's just start a new topic.
Yeah.
I also hit automatics briefly. Blubsky, it sucks. I don't
Yes,
know why.
Blubsky,
I
there
keep
we
blowing
go.
them up.
Well, it's because you're putting a V8 amount of
It's-
power
but-
into a transmission that's made for 63
No,
horsepower.
What
No.
transmission are you bolting
It's the
to it?
V8 4-speed.
Oh.
It's the transmission for that engine. It's a
Are you-
722
Are
350.
you using the right transmission fluid?
Yes, actually. I use Pentison ATF LV, which
Well,
is
That's
not
actually
cheap.
probably the best
Are
transmission
you making
fluid in the
stock
world.
horsepower numbers though?
No.
Exactly.
And I also am told that they don't like rev limiters.
Have you considered a power glide?
No, I haven't. I would consider a manual transmission swap, but nobody's willing to make me a goddamn flywheel. Even though it's not very hard.
Well,
I don't have a mill.
we should probably talk to Trig, because Trig does...
yeah, you should
things.
definitely talk to him.
We
Yeah.
should definitely bring this up to Trig, because
Yes.
I have a spare engine block, a spare donor trans, a spare clutch
you have
set,
everything you
a
need to
spare
make it.
BMW flywheel, which accepts said clutch thingy, spare clutch fork, spare hydraulics, spare release bearings, spare ring gear, which
You can
bolts
go.
on.
You can go through all the bullshit to make it.
I have everything except for a flywheel and I guess an adapter plate, but the adapter plate's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably talk to Trig about that.
Yeah,
we should have him on again soon. He's pretty
Yeah, we
cool.
probably
Pretty
should.
cool guy. I gotta get some whiskey though or something.
I'll,
for him.
I'll call him up and see if he wants to go on to Elko with us.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
when is the next show going on?
The podcast?
Yeah.
Probably about
just
4
after
o'clock
this
tonight.
Yeah,
and-
4:30 probably in Elko.
Yeah,
So maybe we can see if we can get.
we're gonna
Trig
do it
on.
live.
You can do it live.
We're gonna
Fucking
we're gonna
Straight
Bill
Bill
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly this thing.
Yep, fucking right, bud. All right. Anyway, I hate automatic transmissions too. I'm sorry
Yep.
about your problems.
Yeah, it,
Great way to close a topic. Okay.
It really is just truly
But-
awful.
Let me brighten the mood. Okay, so there's a pretty cool racing event series going on out at Laguna Seca right now, the place where we both were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and you know what? I did not see a single picture from this fucking tractor race.
Did that already happen?
I don't know. It better not have already happened.
a tractor race.
Yes,
Yes.
Laguna
vintage
Seca.
tractor racing on Laguna
At
Seca.
Rensport, the big Porsche event.
Yeah.
So Porsche made tractors
I think that's
immediately
this
after
event.
World War II.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
it is
I'm
this event.
aware of that, along with Lamborghini. And,
So they're taking
yeah.
all the Porsche juniors that show up and taking them around Laguna Seca and doing one lap, like actually racing each other.
Yep, full
They're-
chat. Imagine
they're-
the corkscrew in a tractor with center steer.
Oh my God.
They're apparently expected to take around 15 minutes to do one lap.
So
I wanna see the people
let's
wheel
just
these
go
things.
ahead and accept the fact that that is the most fun you'll ever have in Laguna Seca.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
not the
drop 6
fastest
stories
car.
on pavement in a tractor.
Yep.
Are those oil pans baffled for G-force? I hope so.
Probably not. Actually, you know what I was wondering was, what is the top speed ever reached in a Porsche Junior? Because you're gonna have that beat. Because nobody's ever dropped a Porsche
There's
Junior
gonna be
6
people with
stories.
like shot peen custom gear sets in these things to like get them to do like 90. I swear. Like something isn't right with this Porsche Junior.
Like
It's making dog box gear sounds.
like I'm just imagining it. Just, oh yeah, I took my Porsche out on Laguna Seca.
Like
You
so
know,
what I did that last week.
You know, and just what
got-
kind of
you
lap
got a
times
ni-
are you running? Oh, I ran a 14:48. Did you push it?
14.48 seconds? No, minutes.
Minutes.
Oh, well, we got.
Sure you didn't mean the Nürburgring Nordschleife?
I should mind you. It's a diesel Porsche, but
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
But anyway, at this Rennsport reunion, the 70th anniversary sports car event, Porsche released
that
a lovely vehicle.
that looks fucking.
Ooh.
It
awesome.
is a 935 homage.
That looks awful.
Based on a GT2, a modern GT2.
Can you bring in the real 935 Moby Dick so we can see what they really look like? Because that looks terrible.
Yes.
I do not like that
I
at all.
actually like the new one, but
No, they just slapped on some bodywork that looks vaguely like a 935 onto a modern GT2.
oh, wait, I
It's-
took pictures of one of these. Photos. There we go. You caught me off guard with the original.
well, you could just typed in 935. I mean, you literally had it there.
No. See, because then it won't be my photo. And we're talking about tractor racing. I want to get this right.
Not only that, it's also copyright sort of stuff.
There's that, and fuck man, where was I going with this? Anyway, let's play this little segment here.
It looks like a sphincter.
Oh wait, never mind.
Sphincter.
Oh, here's what I was gonna say. They didn't put vintage sponsor decals on it though, which is why would you even bother if you don't have like the 1984 Apple Corporation logo on it and like.
Because it's stupid and it's made by Volkswagen.
Well, I mean, you have a point there. Anyway, I'm gonna maybe give up on this internet, even though it's supposedly way better.
The 935, the real 935, looks way better than that. That looks like a weird bastard.
Well, I mean, it is a weird bastard. It's a GT2 with some like vintage sheet metal and like old style
Not even
turbo
vintage.
fans.
It looks vaguely like that body kit is way smaller.
Okay, it looks like what's that Japanese body kit company that like cuts out the back part of the fender?
RWB.
No,
Biograph?
no. Well, it's not Liberty Walk. It's maybe it is Liberty Walk.
Pandem. I mean, they're all.
I don't
Rocket
know.
Bunny or
Whoever,
something? I
yeah,
don't know.
Rocket Bunny. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. They cut like
Yeah,
the back
Pandem
half of the
Rocket
front
Bunny, yeah.
fender off. I'm like, okay, why? That's kind of this style. So anyway, I think this thing's really cool, but okay, apparently you don't, so that's fine.
I'm a fan. I mean, I'm not really big into modern vehicles in general, but I do like the
Yeah.
throwback.
I do too. I mean, it's
That's-
not as cool as I'm
this
just
is what it
remaking
should
the
look like.
935. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an actual race car right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, still.
This is never going to be
This
campaigned
is simply
in
a
series.
homage to that car. It's
Yeah.
not. If it was, I'm sure if it was a purpose-built race car, it'd be.
So Jana, if Renault came out with a new Renault 5 based on a Renault 5 Turbo
Well, that's
2
different.
homage,
As long as it's
is
rear
it?
engine, rear-wheel drive.
Which they would still do. This is like the same configuration type of thing
Yeah,
as
but
the Porsche
thing,
race
yeah, but
cars
the
in the
thing
80s.
is, that body kit was just so much more radical. Like they did that, if they had a volume knob, that'd be a 7 out of 10. They didn't take the 10 out of 10 and make that body kit as big as it should be. It's not as garish enough. Because the thing is, they
It's
called it.
not as garish enough.
Yeah, it's not garish enough.
You said as not as garish.
It's not
enough.
as garish enough.
It's not as garish, or it's not garish enough.
It's not garish enough.
Thank you.
Because it needs to be bigger and more ridiculous. They called the 935 Moby Dick for a reason.
I mean, I kind of agree. It's not as bad as like the Daytona Roadrunner or whatever the hell with like
Yeah.
the 15-foot spoiler on it that looked like it was ladder racking.
which is literally perfect for the car.
That if they didn't
Yeah,
call
true.
that
Tell me you wouldn't want one
if
of
they
those
did
things.
not call that a 935 homage, that'd look really good.
Okay.
That would be a cool race car.
So your problem is it's simply not close enough to the original. So the car itself
It's
is
not that-
cool,
I
but
don't-
you just don't
yeah,
like the fact
it's-
that it's homage.
I don't think I'm gonna say that I don't like that's not
So
close
if they
enough.
just called
but
this
I mean,
a
like,
Porsche 966, you would have been okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But the thing is, look how much more ridiculous that rear end is.
Yeah, but that's not the car it's based on. That's a way longer tail race car.
Yeah.
No, that underneath that, if you ever look behind the 935, like
Yeah.
look underneath that, it's a normal 911.
No, I know, but like the 935 race car is a very short rear overhang with a ton of aero on the back. That was a longer like tail thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the
whatever.
that's the 935 78
I like it.
Moby Dick. That's what I think of when I see a 935.
This isn't going to tarnish the brand of Porsche.
No, it's not going to. I just don't think that it's a good homage.
Fine, I accept that.
Okay, I think we should move on
Sounds
before I yell anymore.
I think that suits all of us well. Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of tarnishing brands,
Nope.
Wow, great segue.
Yeah, I want to.
Segue?
I want to talk about cars that sell well,
Okay.
but end up tarnishing the brand.
Okay.
Because Road and Track had kind of a longer piece in Leto's Law, which is one of their long read segments that they do. And they were talking about these cars that sold well, and if it's possible for a car to sell well and tarnish a brand, which it absolutely is. You get something like examples would be like this Chevy Citation or a Pontiac G6.
Citation. Interestingly, both airplanes, Citation and G6.
Yes, that's true. And then another one that I added actually was the Sterling 825.
God, that sounds awful.
The Sterling 825.
Sterling was British Leyland's attempt to re-enter into the United States. Is around the time that Acura and Lexus were coming around.
Oh,
And so they were using a Honda 2.5 liter V6 and all the mechanical components from Acura Legend.
So how did they make this thing fail?
Lucas Electronics.
Oh, I should have figured. Yeah, British car. Yeah, because I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, we're using a bunch of
They got-
90s Japanese
so
running gear. This should be a great
This
car.
is the perfect example of a car selling well and ruining the reputation of its brand. They made two Sterlings.
Wait, hold on. You're saying ruining the reputation of British Leyland?
Let me get to that.
In the
because
United States.
in 1986,
In the United
Sterling
States.
was made just for the United States. It was only for us, and that it was supposed to be the car that saved British Leyland. They made it, and it sold super well for the first 6 months that it was in America. Actually, it was the best-selling luxury car in the country, and it was actually given, I think it was given Motor Trend Car of the Year.
I don't know, maybe.
Like, it actually did very well. But then, immediately, like 6 to 8 months later, you were starting to get these cars lighting on fire and coming back because they weren't starting and like nothing was working. And it's all because of Lucas Electronics. And so,
Just trying to picture a Japanese like J series engine. I assume that's probably the first J engine, or no?
no, it was a C series.
C series.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a
Oh,
C
yeah.
series. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was a C27, I think.
Okay. But I'm trying to picture one of those like dressed up with like tubes and like vacuum modules with Lucas stamped all over them.
Yeah, basically, it's just a horrible nightmare.
Does it have like a
basically-
pair of Solex carburetors on it too?
Oh no,
right?
they probably went mechanical injection. On that
Oh
one.
no!
Oh
They
yes.
just made it as bad as possible.
We definitely need to talk to Trig again to see
But
if this is.
they so anyway, the car went on to have its car of the year revoked, and like a bunch of their cars were returned. They had to return them as lemons, so BL had to buy them back. They released another Rover, another car based off of a existing Rover that was much better and actually kind of reliable, called I think that one was called the 827, if I'm not mistaken. But the damage was done, and after a year, their sales had fallen from, I think they sold like 60,000 cars in like the first like 6 months or something.
Wow,
They did
that's
really
pretty healthy volume.
Yeah, like they sold super well, to selling 3,000 in 1987. Next
Whoops.
year. So
Wow.
that's a car selling extremely well and ruining the brand.
Now, something you brought up there, I'm kind of curious. How many other cars have had Car of the Year revoked?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Don't know, because I know
I can't imagine it's
there's
very
there's been
many.
there's been like one or two.
Yeah.
But they've definitely had duds. Like the Malibu in '97 was Car of the Year.
Yeah.
So they've had some real duds, but not revoking. Like that was bad.
Yeah. I mean, because
Really
those
bad.
are some serious. I mean, 60,000 units in 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was something like that.
that's like up there with like 64 Mustang with like
It was something like 60 or 40,000. Like, it was like an insane number when I read it.
yeah.
Do you guys remember when I think it was the Tesla Model X came out and Consumer Reports put it on a do not buy list, and then
Yep.
like Tesla did an over-the-air software update to fix the one concern they had, and then they revised it?
Yeah.
That's the only instance I can remember of like a big publication
I'm
actually
actually
flopping.
I'm going
Well, wasn't
to,
it? Wasn't it?
I'm just gonna-
involving
I'm a-
the ride height too.
It might be. I don't actually know what it
Oh wait,
was.
no, excuse me. That was the Model S.
If you guys want to come up with some other cars that you've noticed that really tarnish the brand of a car, just from like a quality standpoint, I'm gonna try and just look up the Sterling sales figures because I feel weird about that number.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
either way, if it made impressive sales, then suddenly was considered a lemon.
Yeah.
I think that gets the
Especially in
point.
like its inaugural year. Like I guess that was kind of the case for Lexus with the
All right,
LS
here it
400
is.
and stuff too.
Sorry, I was wrong. It sold 14,000 cars, but it was 60% more than its sister car, the Legend, did.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
still good numbers,
that's where my
though.
number came from. It like vastly outsold the Legend, even though it was the same thing. It
Was
looks
it just a bunch cheaper?
no, it was more expensive, but it was European.
Oh.
So basically, this thing was just an Acura Legend with different electronics in it.
Yeah, basically, and actually
And
they
a
look
badge.
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So here are the sales numbers. They did stay around until 91. 87. It was the first year they were on sale, not 86. 14,000. 88. 8,000. They cut their sales in half because of the massive issues.
Wow.
89, 5,000, 90, 4,000, 91, 2,000. Each year they cut their sales in half, basically, from just a massive quality issue. So that is them. So yeah, they had the 825 and the 827. Those are the two cars that they made. They didn't look bad. I mean, mind you, this one I'm about to flip my monitor around, show you, is faded and old, but they had cool
Okay.
body lines.
Yeah, that is
too.
actually kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they look cool. If I ever find one like running, I will absolutely buy
Put
it.
an LS in it, yeah.
Well, I would just keep it with the Honda engine because that's the only reliable thing in the car.
So you're going to go through all the electronics.
No. It's the Honda engine's fine. It's everything else that breaks.
So that's what I'm saying. You're going to go through everything else
No, just gonna have nothing work.
and start on fire.
It's all right. It happens. God, see, they look good. Those are good-looking cars. Just nobody bought them because they sucked a lot.
Oh, 0% APR financing.
Oh, yeah.
That is
No
saying
charge
something.
maintenance?
Oh, yeah. They were trying to make some big moves, taking a step in the U.S. with
Now,
that.
my-
Made
guy.
in
mind you-
England
mind
by
you-
Rover Cars.
In 1990, 0% APR is unheard of.
Yeah, that was 3 years after a stock market crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, like in the 80s, like seeing cars like 12% APR financing was like a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
like
that's
that was
pretty
that
common.
was pretty
Hyperinflation.
good.
yeah, like if you found 8%, like you're getting a deal.
Yeah, that's insane that they're trying to do that. But it was just not good that happened. But I think today there are cars that are doing that to their brand, or they're cheapening the brand to a point where it's going to make them unsellable. Volkswagen, just about everything they sell with a 2-liter turbo engine, I think is going to really damage your brand.
Well, and let's be honest, Volkswagen's been making some very poor decisions lately.
No
Well,
way.
not lately. It's been the last 20 years, really.
But also lately.
But I mean,
Especially lately.
everything's really everything's kind of coming to a head now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you can get past a biodegradable wiring harness because that's just something that happens
All right.
after
Sorry to interrupt.
There
a
you
while.
go.
I finally pulled up my photo of the damn Porsche.
Yeah, see,
The
that looks-
OG. And I got another
that
shot
looks
here
way
too.
better. Yeah, see, that looks way cooler.
Dat booty.
But anyway,
Swiggity, swiggity.
Swiggity swooty.
Anyway, so I think Volkswagen is really damaging their brand with the 2-liter turbo because I know how many customers I've personally seen at my shop that have run away from Volkswagen permanently because of a 2.0T.
Well, and the question is it because of the engine itself, or is it maintenance related that you're having these failures?
They're engine failures. 100,000 miles, doing 5K oil change intervals, and doing every piece of maintenance like on time.
Yeah.
And you're having to replace the intake manifold because of carbon buildup. Not because
That's a
not-
direct injected motor, isn't it?
not just
They both
clean,
are,
not
yeah.
clean out the intake manifold, but carbon gets into the flaps in the intake manifold internally and jams
Yep.
them in place so they stay shut.
It's the same thing with like the Mini Coopers
Yeah.
with their direct injected motor, and you have to replace the valve cover because the EGR is built into that. So that's
that's
$900.
That's nothing.
Well, and then also with current specification on a Mini is 1 quart of oil consumed for every 750 miles. Or excuse me.
Oh my God.
The newest ones are 1,000 miles.
That's that's a lot of. That's worse than Audi.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, Audi's the same spec, if I remember correctly.
Audi. I think Audi's 3,000.
You sure about that?
I think it's 3.
most
we
German
should Google
manufacturers allow up to a quart per
Up to a
thousand.
quart per
Yeah.
thousand.
So I remember when we had
It's
to,
a quart per 1,000.
we were getting the engine replaced in the ML430 I drove in high school because we found an extended warranty on that thing, which was kind of a hush-hush warranty. And we had documented oil services, and we had documented oil fills, and I was driving it at the time where it needed this, and it started needing a quart of oil every like 150 to 300 miles.
Yep.
It's as bad as my Civic.
So they rebuilt the M113 in there free of charge.
That's awesome.
I've heard multiple cases about that from a friend that worked at Mercedes. But so I mean, I think that's an issue with a lot of modern cars because with the Minis in particular, that from what I've seen,
Minis are trash.
Well, the thing
they're
is,
a lot of fun to drive. But yeah, I wouldn't want to own one.
Just gotta figure out they're
Mini-
actually reliable. It's so weird to say, but
Yeah.
Mini is a brand that's an issue because Mini, they don't have other products to lean on. Like,
Well, I mean, they
are
do.
the Cooper, but I mean, they all have like the same kind of 4-cylinder front-wheel drive engine.
Yeah, well, okay, you have to take into account though with the new Minis,
Yeah.
they are literally BMW like X1s.
no, the X1 is a Mini.
Yeah.
So they're cheapening BMW. They're not making Mini better.
Well, no, it
I
uses the
think-
same B48 as a lot of.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think
But
that-
that
yeah,
engine
you'd
was
know.
designed.
I think
for
that's
Mini.
two things where the
Well, the
unreliable of
M22.
Minis are going to kill that brand, but the Mini parts are going into BMWs are going to severely
Yeah,
damage
you
them.
get
I don't
into an
think it'll
X1,
kill
you got the mini
anything.
shifter. I'm like, really? That's kind
No,
of.
I think
Okay.
it. I mean, if they're anything like
Front-wheel
Audi,
drive.
like that 2.0T engine is like, because if you think about that, between the TD and the 2.0T, that probably accounts for, I'd say, probably 60 to 70% of all their cars. Period.
So let's just come to a general consensus and say modern German vehicles need to start thinking about a few things.
Yes, they do.
'Cause-
Our previous consensus was don't buy any corporate German 4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah,
engine.
no.
Oh
2.0
yeah, no, that's actually a very very valid
Yeah,
statement.
That's a usual because they're all rushed. Every single
Yeah.
one's rushed to market. Every single one is performance over reliability.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not
And
anything.
I
you
guess
want.
that's true because if you look at like the premium V8s, they're all phenomenal.
Yeah,
Not the
to a
BMW
point.
one.
well, not
I'm
the
not
BMW,
familiar with the
but-
BMW
it's-
V8s.
But no,
really
you're
bad.
right. It's the
worse
larger,
than
the
I
I should
premium
say
engines.
naturally aspirated V8s.
The
Those are
premium engines, with the
better.
exception of the 3-liter V6, most Volkswagen Audi Group V6, not VR, but V6 engines are very reliable.
The 2.7 is also in that boat.
Yeah, I would say the 2.7.
Good engine, but it's also really it lets go randomly like the 2.0 TSI.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's kind of like that. But my way of describing the 2.0 TSI is look at it like a cube. Every face of that has something that will cost you $2,000, which is entirely accurate. Because
And especially when you're buying a car that's like $2,500 or something.
yeah, because I mean the timing chain that's $2,400. Rear main seal.
Instant total, no matter what happens to the engine.
Rear main seal is, but I shouldn't say $2,000, but at least $1,000. Rear main seal is about $1,600 or so because you got pull tranny out.
Yep.
Intake manifold and decarb is about $1,000. I give people a break on that, and it's about $1,000.
Do you guys just get them
turbochargers.
ultrasonically cleaned, or do you actually replace
No,
them?
we actually pull them out. We made an old machine that blasts them with
Walnut shell?
Walnut shells, yeah.
Okay.
And then you have the turbochargers that go out. You have the valve cover breathers that go out that also kill the rear main.
Yep.
And then oil pickups, and it's just
Oh god.
fucking everything.
And the oil pickups, it's not actually a design issue with the oil pickup, it's a design
It's-
issue of the intermediate chain tensioner and the camshaft
It's
shredding.
that actually.
See,
the
and I wanna
the
know what-
larger issue is the jack shaft that goes to the water pump.
That is also a stupid
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. See, I want to know what happened because in the late 80s, early 90s, there were some very, very stout engines produced.
Yeah.
I mean, look at like M104, M103s,
M50.
or the
They
M50.
started. I think they started to rest on their laurels because the thing is, Volkswagens. It's not that they're unreliable. They just haven't gotten any more reliable.
The ABA.
No, they just haven't gotten any more reliable than they were in 1983.
Well,
And
well, let's look at like the 8-valve.
yeah,
Yeah, the ABA.
Yeah, that you could do horrific things to. I've literally seen someone empty out the oil, fill it with beer, and run it.
Well, I should say the engine life, the
a waste
average
of beer.
the average engine
was
life
German
of the
beer,
engine.
yeah.
The average engine life of the engine is about the same as it was then. But that's the thing is they've improved the technology.
Yeah, but see,
Well,
I feel like
improved the technology, but it's not gotten any better. Now it's just gotten more expensive to replace.
yeah, exactly. Because there was an instance where I allegedly was moving quickly with a almost brand new RS3 in a 90, and I was driving a 1995 E320.
Yeah.
He couldn't get away from me.
RS3s aren't actually that fast.
Neither is the E320.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, this is, and keep in mind, I had a sway bar that was disconnected on one side
That okay.
and blown KYBs all the way around.
oh yeah, comfy as hell.
Oh yeah,
It's like a McLaren.
yeah. I mean, the body roll on that was so bad, I would damn near scrape door handles every turn.
That's hilarious.
But it's just the fact that
Scott's new Element has no sway bar links on the driver's side,
Perfect.
front or rear.
Perfect.
But it's just the fact that a 1990s premium German vehicle
It's
can keep up with a modern sports German vehicle.
Yeah, see that to me, and like I really think that I think that your 1990 Mercedes probably is to be less money in total to repair.
I bought a spare engine for $125, and he offered to give me the transmission with it, but I didn't want it.
Yeah,
That's the thing. The Mercedes 4-speed autos are pretty reliable on the whole.
Yep.
yeah.
Weird.
Weird.
I mean, yours is a 722.4, so it's a little different, but
yeah,
still.
and I plan on putting in a 7226.
So
But-
just no.
so yeah,
Don't even bother.
722-649.
I know it's a 5-speed. Just don't do it.
I think it's not just
Don't. Do
it's not just
manual.
German brands
No.
that are having this issue with cheapening of their product, making their cars worth less money, like just not sell well and just damaging the brand. I mean, it's kind of like across the board. I mean, Ford's doing their CUVs, which we're gonna either take it or leave it. However, they do have those horrific CVT issues. I feel like the second,
I hate CVT.
yeah,
Yep.
they have those really awful CVT issues where like every single Fiesta automatic is coming back into shop needing a transmission, which is really bad for a brand.
Oh, yeah.
But but the thing is like when you have a brand that's somebody like I'm just gonna say Subaru right now, that's like pretty solidly reliable. Like they don't have like modern days like today,
Yeah.
like the newest engines that don't have any massive failures.
Yeah.
And they name one
So there's still a lot of head gasket issues.
which Subaru
And-
goes out of their way to redesign to the best of their abilities. I'm saying, well, the thing is, I'm gonna say Subaru. What they do is they actually attempt to fix the issue, whereas Volkswagen Audi Group doesn't. Subaru with the head gaskets, they had the single piece graphite head gaskets in the 2.5s
Yeah.
back in the 2000s. They've updated the part number to just be a turbocharged head gasket for all of them.
But that's back in the 2000s. They're still having the same issue with some of the newer stuff.
Was that when they had like on like the 1.8T or whatever when they had like 11 variants of that engine or something like that?
The
Yeah.
1.8, you mean the 2.0?
No, I'm talking
2.5.
pre 2.0.
Oh, my engine. Where they have to
The-
have 3 different versions of the EA.
No, I guess I was talking Audi. Sorry.
Oh, Audi. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I,
okay.
I was kind of.
Yeah, there's
Tangenting, yeah.
about a dozen different variants of the thing. And
I remember when I was shopping for a replacement engine for my coworker's A4 over the winter.
yeah, that
It was
car.
an AMB. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, it means it's a manual. It means it's from an A4, a late B5, or an early B6.
Yeah.
Quattro only, manual only. I'm like,
And they're totally different. Yeah.
what the hell? Why? And then
Yeah.
I Googled it, and they're like, oh, the difference is the crank snout is much shorter on that one.
Yeah, there's the.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
going back
could
to
just say that.
Volkswagen, yeah,
Yeah.
like the 2.0T, the CCTA, that is the timing chain TSI 2.0T that is in the Volkswagen CC and the Passat and everything. That's different than the one that they have in the A4, even though the A4 one is exactly the same engine in every way.
Of course it is.
But they have completely different timing chains. Completely different.
Okay, what do you know what the difference is? Is it like a thickness? Or like
No,
the guides a different
no,
size?
like the levers are different shapes. Like, that's what it is. It has a different routing sequence, even though everything's in the same spot. All they
Does
did,
it still have a water pump jack shaft?
yeah, all they did was I think they increased compression, gave it a hotter cam.
They don't need to change the timing chain for that.
No, like what they need to do is do like metal guides and a dual row timing chain like a Mercedes did, and then end up having the best car ever. If they did that, I would
don't even
forgive them
think
about the rear main.
Did Mercedes use metal guides?
Yeah, they did. On the M117, I'm pretty sure it's a metal guide.
No.
Oh, is it
No,
not?
that's
Oh,
plastic.
it's plastic?
Yeah.
They're metal or aluminum underneath.
Well,
but
yeah, but the actual
Far less
face that the chain
There's-
rides
yeah.
on is plastic.
Yeah, but there's far less plastic. It's not like Volkswagen where the
the
entire
chain's like an
thing,
inch wide, so yeah.
the entire thing on a Volkswagen is plastic with a little like metal insert.
Well,
where
how
the bolt
wide is
goes
the
in.
Volkswagen timing chain?
Probably
yeah.
about a centimeter.
Yeah, see, and that they need to go to like old Mercedes where you have dual chain.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Like-
a dual chain.
Oh, you put 1,000,000 miles on it? Yeah, you might need one next million.
Well,
Especially
you
when
do-
they've got the thinner oils and the longer intervals.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think not only that, but
Or
I
gear
think
drive.
the issue is
Gear drive.
if you look at the levers, yeah, the gear drives would be
There
the
we
or
way to go.
timing belts, honestly.
yeah, what
Timing
was wrong
belts?
with timing belts?
Nothing at
Yeah.
all. But I mean, the thing is, like when you have these timing chain levers that are 5 inches long and they're all made of plastic, and the only bolt is at the very top, and you have all this weight at the end of the fulcrum, like that's gonna break it, and that's exactly where it breaks.
Well, I think what we can get out of this is the fact that engineers need to just stop being engineers and then take people that
This isn't the engineers, though. This is the product planners and the people that actually sell the goddamn things.
yeah,
Because the engineers actually probably designed a pretty good thing, and then it gets
That's
cost
true.
cut, and
If
it gets,
you-
it
it's-
gets
it's
the
the bean
wrong
counters
fluids,
a
it
lot
gets
of
the
the
wrong
times.
maintenance, or they're told they have a certain space constraint, so they have to shorten the engine. The only place they can take stuff out is thinning the timing chain. Or if they're legitimately, and I doubt they are, but maybe, trying to plan the obsolescence or the premature failure of these
I
parts.
have, I've got about 60% faith, a little over average, like over. I feel confident that there is some level of planned obsolescence with
I'm
these
oh,
sure.
cars.
there absolutely
And
is.
the reason I'm saying that is I don't have faith in the company. And that's the thing. Like that's Volkswagen's gotten themselves into this point where I have lost all faith in them as a company. I do not trust them. I trust them about as much as I trust Philip Morris. Like I just
Maybe
don't.
they should just merge.
Yeah, I think I
they
should.
probably should.
Your
Volkswagen
new Audi
Morris
A4 comes with 5 packs of lit cigarettes in the trunk.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, what I was trying to say is it's not just a Volkswagen thing. There are other brands. Ford's having this issue.
Ford is also having another issue with this F-150 here.
Yes, they are.
Where
I
it
mean,
was-
I'm
it
pretty
was-
sure it'll buff out.
It was hit hard enough where the body in the bed completely came off of the frame and engine.
I saw that picture.
I know,
Yes,
I just
saw
pulled
oh
it
wait,
up because-
that's an impact, not a burn.
But anyway,
Correct, that
I
is
do
an
want to.
impact,
I want to
yes.
plug a couple other
Wow.
brands that I feel like had this issue. Honda. Wow.
That Camaro was apparently hustling pretty good.
yeah.
Clearly.
I don't know
Jesus.
where these are from, but I just pulled them up on Facebook because I thought it was interesting. Anyway, that's all.
Anyway, no, I think Honda had this issue for a while with their cars in the early, like around the recession. The 9th generation Civic, the really boring Civic.
Yep.
Yep. The one that they replaced in 2 years.
Yeah, and then Toyota. There was that 1 year that Corolla did not get best car in its class, like the only time ever. And Toyota had that. But the thing is, like, I feel like when Asian manufacturers have this issue, it's like when like a straight A student gets a B,
Yeah.
and they freak out and like they were like ready to kill themselves and like
Yeah.
disintegrate the company. Like, whereas like I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of these-
Meanwhile, all of like GM corporate is literally on fire, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah,
This
yeah,
is
we'll
fine.
recover from
This
this.
is
just
fine.
fine.
did
This
he
is fine."
Did he pass? He got C minus. That's a pass. I
just
mean,
oh yeah. Oh wait, it was a D.
anyway.
Sweet.
My mentality in high school. Ayo.
If you pass,
I
you're
remember
fine.
high school.
Yeah, if you pass, you're fine, and that's exactly what that Pontiac Transport is.
Yeah.
that is the
It's a
C.
pass.
It's a C minus. It is. It's a tech. Well, sorry. It's a
This wasn't
tech.
beer.
It is a technical pass,
yeah.
and
Like
literally just
does
that.
it still start and drive? Well, I mean,
In
it
the
does.
words
it has a lot
of
more
little Tom
problems.
Callahan, I got a D+.
Nailed
They
it.
don't give out a lot of D pluses.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just
Not
yeah.
a
Yeah,
grade they
that means
like to
it's
give out.
rare.
Anyway,
And as we've established, rare does not necessarily mean good.
I think
Yep.
we should round up this episode talking about the Queensland Police Department.
I agree. this is the last piece, as you said, for this episode. And Queensland, as you know, is in, I think, New South Wales in Australia. Anyway, they have a police force, naturally. They've got shitty cop cars. Until now, they just placed an order with Kia.
What did they have previously?
Well, it was a lot like the UK, I think. They had...
Like Volvo diesels?
No, but I mean, they had like the V6 Commodores and stuff like that. They didn't have the big Falcons. So, I mean, they had pretty boring cars before.
Oh, okay.
And let me actually bring this up on the stream so people can see what we're looking at. But they've ordered
Yes.
a bunch of new turbo Kia Stinger GTs.
That's excellent.
Good news.
Good news.
And I'm assuming these are going to be the 4-cylinder ones. I don't really know, but they
Still.
look pretty good. I'll livery it up there.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, they got the nice wheels. They might
They
be
should have had
the
a
3.3 turbos.
V8 Interceptor and just had one that they ordered.
They should
just
call it the
the one.
Interceptor.
Yeah.
The one, and called the last of the
Road
V8.
Policing Command.
The last of the V8 Interceptors.
Oh God, we did just watch
Both Mad, or two of the Mad Maxes.
Yeah, Road Warrior.
Oh, you did that on Thursday?
No, we did batteries not included.
All right, tight. Yeah, because
Ooh, that's a good one. Was this for Laserdisc movie night?
It was.
yeah.
See, I got to bring some Laserdiscs over sometime.
Yes, you
'Cause
do.
mine's broken.
Well, I mean,
Jana couldn't come
you've
on
brought
Thursday.
me him a couple times, so I appreciate that. But yeah, you should come back again.
Yes.
I know you've missed the last couple, but you guys have been busy. So
Yes, you
sorry.
should. We should also tell Trig to come.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Trigger would love
Trig has
to.
all sorts
I
of
think he actually
weird
has a Laserdisc player.
Yeah, he has got a Disco Vision.
If I remember, yeah, it was a Disco Vision from '78, 112-pound player.
Wow.
But
I
it's
bet that
broken.
sounds really good when it spools up that disc.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like an old GT car.
It sounds like a 787B at full chat.
That would be cool. My new Pioneer player, I'm kind of disheartened. I can't even hear it spin the disc up.
Oh, that's
Really?
lame. It's like
Yeah.
it
So
works.
that's like half the fun listening to a 12-inch disc
I-
come up to speed.
I cannot even imagine like the amount of motor. I'm guessing it's like a brushless motor. I mean, it's got just oodles of power and it's silent. But I
Yeah,
mean, the
it
thing,
must
like,
be
especially when
brushless.
it's flipping the read head over and it flips the rotation of the disc, like the time between when it stops playing in side A and when it gets to side B and starts going, like you've seen it.
yeah, it's actually
not
pretty quick.
long.
It's maybe
So-
like 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, the electronic braking, I'm guessing, is a lot of neodymium in there. So, at any rate, that is a digression. But on the New South Wales Police Department getting some fabulous new vehicles, I think that is a good reason as any to end this one. But we will catch you guys on Wednesday from Elko.
Yes,
And
I'm
we'll try to get
excited.
Treg down for that. Maybe we can get him
Yeah,
to show up.
I'm gonna try and drag him down. Jen has to go out and dig holes in central Minnesota.
Well, have fun with that, Jenna.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I got an extra
we'll
shovel
catch
just
up
for
with
it.
We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, perfect.
All right. Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys. Thanks a lot.